What I'm going to share with you can be an absolute game changer to seeing more results during this phase of life. So many women think that like menopause is like doom's years. You guys can achieve results during this phase, like no questions asked. What's up, you guys? Welcome to the Macro Hour with Nikkiey Stott, co-founder and brand personality of WarriorBabe, where we talk about mindset, methodologies, and tactics that will help you lose body fat, build muscle, be strong, and feel insanely confident. I'm your host, Nikkiey Stott, and welcome you guys to episode number 9, where we are kicking off our first listeners Q&A. And I'm super excited to be doing this. There was a lot of great questions that came through, and we're going to be doing more of it. So a couple weeks ago, I posted on my Instagram story, which if you're not following me, go follow me at Nikkiey Stott, at WarriorBabe. That's the number one social platform that I hang out on. And so I posted on my story asking you guys, what are some answers that you want to have to the questions that you're seeking, and you want to know along your journey. And I asked you guys to make it good questions that were worthy of lengthy answers. And you guys did a great job. I freaking loved it. Some great questions came from it. I couldn't pick one, so I chose 3. So today in this podcast, I'm going to answer 3 of your questions. And they're going to be around protein. They're going to be around building muscle and controlling body fat while you're in the menopause phase of life, and heavy periods. What do we do when we're experiencing heavy periods, ladies? So again, super stoked to dive into it. And let's just kick it off. So the first question that I got was, is all protein created equal? Meaning like chicken, protein shakes, protein bars. And the short answer is no, and I'm going to explain why. So first and foremost, let me just explain protein. Protein is like the macronutrient king of what I say. It's essential for our bodies to function properly. So protein help with everything from building and repairing tissues, building your muscle, producing enzymes, and helping with your hormones. They also are what make your hair super long and your nails super strong. But not all proteins are created equal. So different sources of protein have varying levels of essential amino acids and bioavailability. So I'm going to break it down into speaking about animal proteins, plant proteins, and then like protein shakes and protein bars, because they're all different and they're not all made the same. So animal proteins such as like meat, eggs, dairy, they're all considered to be complete proteins because they contain all of the essential amino acids that the body needs. And these essential amino acids, they're not produced by the body and they have to be obtained through our diets. Okay, so we need to eat meat, eggs, and dairy in order to get essential amino acids that our body needs to function well. And again, these amino acids, they are not produced by our body. They are obtained through our diet. Okay, so it's animal-based proteins. Plant-based proteins, such as like beans, lentils, quinoa, these are often considered to be incomplete proteins because they may not contain all of the essential amino acids in the amounts needed for optimal health and for our body. However, this is super cool. You guys may not know this. I actually just learned this from our plant-based vegan coach inside of the VIP program. So if you consume a variety of plant-based protein sources like together, it's possible to, by doing that, obtain all of the essential amino acids that your body needs. Okay. And then we have protein shakes and protein bars, which are typically made from protein powders. And those protein powders are derived from a variety of sources, being either from whey, from casein, from soy, or from pea. And so these powders are produced to remove non-protein components and concentrate that protein content. So when people hear that, they're like, okay, well, Are protein powders and protein bars, are they complete proteins? So plant-based protein powders, such as like soy or pea protein, can be considered complete proteins because they do contain all of the essential amino acids. However, some plant-based protein powders, such as like rice or hemp protein, are not considered to be complete proteins because they're low in one or more of the essential amino acids. Okay, so if you're consuming a plant-based protein powder, that, these protein bars are made up of, such as, if it's coming from soy or from pea protein, then they can be considered complete protein powders because they contain all of the essential amino acids. But other things like rice or hemp protein, these are not considered to be complete protein sources, and they're low in one or more of the essential amino acids. So again, what makes up like a complete protein is if they contain all of the essential amino acids that our body needs. Then we have whey protein, and dairy-based protein powders. So these are actually considered to be complete protein powders, and it's because they contain all of the essential amino acids the body needs. But something here super key to note, guys, is that the process of creating protein powders and the way like chicken protein is created is completely different. So like they're not created equally. Chicken, meat, protein all contain other essential amino nutrients, such as like vitamins and minerals, over what protein powders have. So like there is a huge difference between you eating whole foods versus processed foods. And like what I'm trying to, convey here is that chicken and meat, they equal whole foods. So they have, again, all the essential amino acids, all of the vitamins, all of the minerals that our body needs, whereas protein powders and bars, they're processed. So you guys know the difference between whole foods and processed foods. Processed foods are like the freezer foods that you go and like buy that and then like you eat it. Whole foods are like what's in like the fruit section, the meat section, like all of those areas that like it's considered a whole food. So processed just wipes out everything. Whole food keeps everything. And so that's the same thing when it comes to protein powder. So I always like something that's extremely important, you guys, is I always say like you should not be consuming majority of your protein contents from protein bars and protein powders just because you feel like you have to hit your protein target for the day. You want to really pay attention to the protein that you are consuming and making sure that like 80% of it is coming from whole foods and like that 20% is coming from protein bars and protein shakes. And then something else really key to extremely important to note here too, is that you need to check and make sure that you're checking the ingredient list and the nutritional information on the products to make sure that you know what you're getting and what you're putting into your body. So some brands might add ingredients that are not beneficial for your health. So like, cool, like some things in macro wise are great for to hit your protein sources, but like, are they made up of good ingredients? I was actually just having this conversation with a friend yesterday. We were talking about why this one protein powder is actually a little bit more expensive than the other protein powder. And I can guarantee you, if you look closely to the ingredients, it's made from better ingredients than the other protein source is made from. Protein powder is made from. So that answers, you guys, that first question, how all protein is not created equally. And what makes it a complete protein is the essential amino acids that are in it. And do they have all of it? And do they have the vitamins? Do they have the minerals? So it's paying attention to the essential amino acids. And it's also paying attention to like, is this a whole source food? Like, is this food whole food or is it processed? That's the key. And making sure you're reading the ingredients. That's key. Okay. Now I want to dive into the second question. And that was how to build muscle as a menopausal woman and keep the body fat under control. So listen closely, guys, because I'm going to share something at the end of this question. I'm going to give you a macro split that we do for all of our warrior babes inside of the program who are going through menopause. So how to build muscle as a menopausal woman and keep the body fat under control. The answer, strength training and proper nutrition. And it's like, it's all that you guys already know. You just need to implement it. Like, and I'm going to elaborate here, but seriously, like some people look for some magical unicorn to come out of that answer, and it's like not going to happen. It's all that you already know. You need to be doing strength training and you need to be eating right. You need to have proper nutrition. That's what's going to help you build muscle and keep body fat under control as a menopausal woman. Okay, but I'm going to elaborate here for you. So menopausal women, strength training 3 to 4 times a week. And here's 5 reasons why it's especially important during this phase of life. So number one, hormone changes. During menopause, you guys are experiencing levels of estrogen and testosterone decreasing, which can lead to muscle loss and decreased bone density. Strength training can help counteract these changes by building and maintaining muscle mass. Okay, number two, metabolism. As you guys age, your metabolism naturally slows down. So building muscle can help increase your metabolism, making it easier to maintain a healthy weight. Number three, bone health. Strength training can also help improve bone density, which is important for preventing osteoporosis in your later life. Guys, I can't tell you how many times when I worked inside of the hospital, I saw so many women coming in with like broken hips, fractured hips. And like I heard this from Tony Robbins. You can just look at an individual and know how they operate in their life. And I know that these women did not work out, right? Like strength training probably wasn't a thing back in the day. So it's really important for bone health. Strength training is really important to prevent osteoporosis in your later life. So number four, balance and mobility. Building muscle can also help improve balance and mobility, reducing the risk of falls and injuries. So if you have good balance and mobility, you're not going to fall and you're not going to break a hip, right? And number five, you're going to have improved mood. Exercise in general and strength training in general specifically have been shown to improve mood and reduce symptoms of depression and anxiety. So those are 5 reasons why strength training is so important to help you guys with building muscle as you're going through this menopause transition of life. And then, so now I want to talk about nutrition. Okay, like I said, there's no magical unicorn that comes from this answer that you guys are searching for. It's literally strength training and nutrition. Nutrition with tracking macros, that's the methodology that I firmly believe in and is especially important during menopause. And I want to give you 5 reasons why. So number one, hormonal changes, like I just spoke to with strength training, but with hormonal changes during menopause, changes in hormones can make it difficult to lose fat and maintain muscle mass. So when you're tracking macros, this can help you ensure that you're getting all the right nutrients to support muscle growth and fat loss. Like if you're not paying attention to this and you're over consuming and you're eating more carbs and fats, that's not going to help you when you need protein, especially during this phase of life. Number 2, accountability. So tracking macros can help hold you accountable for the foods that you're eating. By keeping track of your daily intake of like carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, like I just said, you'll be more aware of what you're consuming and be able to make adjustments as you need to. Number 3, it's a tailored approach. Macros can be and should be tailored to your individual needs based on your goals, your lifestyle, your activity level, and the dietary restrictions that you do have. So no same person should be following the same macro numbers. You guys are all different and everybody's body is different. So it's what's really cool with macros is it's a completely tailored approach to you individually. The number 4, consistency. Consistency. That should be your word for 2023. Consistency is super key when it comes to building muscle and losing fat. You can't be, like I said prior episodes here, inconsistent majority of the time and expect to see results that you want to see. You have to be consistent majority of the time, and that's going to get you the results that you want. So tracking macros can help you stay consistent with your diet and make sure that you're making progress towards your goals. Number 5, flexibility. Tracking macros allows you to have, guys, insane flexibility in your diet. Like as long as you hit your macro goals, and again, like I've spoken previously, like 80% of that is coming from good whole food sources, and like 20% is coming from like chocolate or ice cream, whatever you want. You can eat the foods that you would like, and this can help you stay on track and not feel deprived like every other diet that's out there. Okay, so I told you guys at the end of this question, I would be giving you guys our macro split that we support women inside of WarriorBabe with. Now, it's very unique, and it's something myself and the coaches have perfected over all of the years that WarriorBabe has been alive. And like I said, during menopause, your hormones are shifting, so it's important that you work with them, not against them. And so fats are actually one of the most important macronutrients that are directly supporting your hormones. So therefore, having a slightly higher fat intake during these transitional years that you're going through, and I'm absolutely not speaking to keto recommendations here. And you'll see why in a second when I share the macro percentage breakdown. But like this, what I'm going to share with you can be an absolute game changer to seeing more results that you want with your body during this phase of life. Like so many women think that like menopause is like doom's years and like you're just casting it away to like age and giving it the excuse of, oh, I'm just going through menopause. But like, you guys can achieve results during this phase, like no questions asked. So the macro split that we give women, that we provide women inside of WarriorBabe, is 35% protein, 27% carbs, and 38% fats. Hey, just want to drop a huge appreciation to you guys listening to the show. It means a lot. I hope you guys are enjoying it, and there's so much more to come with it. If you are enjoying it, hit the subscribe button. I'd appreciate that tons. And also, it would help this podcast reach others who need to hear these messages too. Thanks so much, guys. Let's get back to the show. Which again, like I said, is very unique. If you listen to anybody out there that's a macro coach or like a macro guru or like even a coach in the fitness space, they're going to give like probably rounded numbers. But like those little small 27% carbs and 28% fats make a difference. And again, like I said, this is not keto, because keto would be like 10% carbs. And also, keto makes it hard for you to build muscle, but that's another conversation for another podcast. So that answers that second question, guys. And I hope that makes you feel a bit more confident too. Like if you're a menopausal woman, it is totally possible for you to build muscle and to control body fat during this phase of life and like optimally set you up for like prime years to come. Like being hella strong at 70, being hella strong at 80. Like that's the goal, right? Live with longevity. Okay, so the last and final question is heavy period days. What do I do on heavy period days? Should I walk? Should I skip weights? Yada, yada, yada. So the answer is, and I could unpack two things here with this question. Training during your menstrual cycle, which I think is best for like a full podcast, and then the heavy period blah days and what to do. So the second ladder to that is the easiest to answer right now with you guys for time's sake. But if you guys are experiencing heavy bleeding or cramping, it's going to be super beneficial to take a rest day. Or, this is where it's like individualized. If you feel good enough, you can go into the gym. And what I like to say during this time is like, just show up. Okay, but like reduce the intensity of your workout. You don't have to be like She-Hulk. You don't have to be like, oh my God, these are my numbers last week, so I need to hit these numbers or better during this week. It's like not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen during that time, okay? You're gonna feel blah. But like I will explain later podcast that you can actually feel super strong while you are on your period, but everybody is completely different. So it's like, you got to just listen to what your body's saying. If specifically it's a heavy bleeding or cramping, it's like, whoa, just show up to the gym, reduce the intensity of your workout. Don't be like She-Hulk. Just be in there and just move your body. Just move your body. That's what I tell a lot of people. And to unpack a little bit of the first part though, like training during your menstrual cycle. So during this time, and I'm probably going to butcher this word, but you're in the follicular phase. That is like such a tongue twister, which starts on the first day of menstruation and lasts until ovulation. So here during this phase, estrogen levels are low and they gradually increase. So this phase, you may see like increased flexibility, better muscle endurance, improved cardiovascular performance. Although no, like I just said previously, like everybody is different. Everybody experiences this monthly friend differently. So during this time, it may be good time for endurance and for cardiovascular training. So make your strength workouts like more superset like, which increases muscular endurance, or like go for a run, which it improves your cardiovascular performance. So that answers that last question. And I hope that those answers gave you guys insight to the questions that you guys were seeking answers to. I love doing that. I love putting that up on my story and hearing what questions you guys do have, because that just directly goes to you guys, the source. And like I can get inside of your brains, understand what it may be that you're struggling with, and how to provide value and answers that you guys can take here on this podcast, run with it, and then take action with it. Especially what I just answered with number 2. And if you're a menopause woman, I gave you the macro split. So take it, run with it, apply it. So I hope you guys found value in this podcast. I'm definitely going to be doing more of these. So go follow me on Instagram at Nikkiey. Go follow the WarriorBabe at WarriorBabe, and be sure to participate when I do put this on my story by asking me a good question worthy of a long answer, and I will for sure take it here and answer on the podcast. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Real quick, the only ask I could ever have of you guys is to help spread the word so we can help more women lose body fat, build muscle, reach their goals, and feel insanely confident. And the only way we can do that is if you rate, review, and share this podcast. So the single thing I ask for you to do is if you could leave a review. It will take you 10 seconds, and it will mean the absolute world to me and may change the world of someone else.